Hey, I'm watching Watch What Happens Live right now and trying to go live, honey. Okay. I have not done a late night live in a little bit. So I'm kind of excited about the situation. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me um check my audio real quick. Let's see. How are you guys doing on this Wednesday night? Let me know in the chat. Okay, I think it sounds good. Hey guys, what's going on? What's going on? So we are back here. It is October 13th at 9:12 at night. I know it's a little late, but I did want to talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because hunty, that was a really good first part. Okay, usually the first and second parts they be boring. They be, real lethargic and things of that nature. But this first part was really, really good. So I did want to get on and talk about it. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do this for all of the parts. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, because I know a lot of my audience is not really Beverly Hills fans, but I feel like I should talk about it anyways. So I have, I have Watch What Happens Live in my ear right now. Literally, it's on my phone. I have it playing on my phone. And I also have it on the TV right now, too. So whenever we get some breaking news, if Garcelle wants to spill some tea tonight, then we can get into that. But hey, guys, thank you so much for joining me in the chat. As you come in, please like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and press the bell button so you guys can be notified when we go live and or post a video. We have to go ahead and crack open this wine. I have not had wine in so long, and I need to get a knife so I can puncture the paper. Okay, I feel like unwind with Tasha K at this point. Give me 1 second. Hold on, y'all finna see my whole outfit. Don't judge. Gotta get me a knife, honey. That's the only one I can find right now. Yikes. Somebody said we need to talk about the audacity of Lisa and Dorit to speak to Garcelle like that. Yeah, that was the most upsetting part. And to me, it just kind of all happened so fast. Like the editing and the way they did it, I was just like, hold up. We moved on way too fast because I'm not over it. I'm not over it. Today we are drinking the Bay Ridge. This is Kroger's like low tier wine. I am in 2021 have realized, I can't speak tonight, that I don't have to spend a lot of money on wine for it to do the trick. So I don't get the $10 plus wine no more. Okay, I've become an El Cheapo when it comes to wine. I'm cheap when it comes to a lot of stuff, but I've learned with wine, it's like I don't have. What's the point of spending a lot of money on it? Like, sometimes you spend money on stuff just to impress other people, but I'm like, listen, the Bay Ridge, what is it called? Yeah, the Bay Bridge is gonna do just fine. Okay, and it's just me by myself at home drinking it. Ain't nobody else here. Okay, now once I get a live-in boyfriend, maybe we'll upgrade on the wine. But right now, I'm just playing. I would never have a live-in boyfriend. Child, I need somebody. I need to be the live-in boyfriend, okay? Dee said, Dorito, that is so funny. Dorito went out and memorized. Is that what you tried to say? Memorize that term to use on Garcelle, passively provocative. And then she started talking about an element of a bully is when you do something incessantly. Okay, that word incessantly reminds me of Mariah Carey because she has a song where she continuously uses that word incessant. If y'all know that song, type it in the chat. Ew. I feel like I am so close. Y'all know this is not my usual setup. My lens is supposed to come in the mail tomorrow. So, this is so ghetto. Bam. Yeah, so my lens is supposed to come in the mail. Hey, everybody. Hey. Welcome to the chat. So we are here talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, honey, because, child, it's a hot-ass mess. And we have Watch What Happens Live on standby in the background. So we're gonna pour up if you're drinking your wine, your tea, your soda, your Coke, your water and whatnot. Go ahead and take a water break or a wine break. It's not chilled, but guess what? It's gonna. Ooh, it's kind of ghetto. You're not supposed to fill it up that high. Yikes! It's a little ghetto. Okay, so what is y'all talking about? Somebody said tonight was an attack on Garcelle. It definitely was. And I already knew it was going to be like that because we had already talked about this earlier today and a couple of days ago. And, I don't know. Garcelle isn't the one. Like, you can tell that out of everyone. To me, it seems like Garcelle is the most fearless, where, she's going to say what she needs to say. She's going to say what she feels in her heart. And that's when, I was really confused when Dorit was, doing the whole press run talking about Garcelle is the most inauthentic person on the show, because I actually think, and it has nothing to do with her being black, it has nothing to do with her, being my fave on the show. I do believe that Garcelle is the most authentic on the show. So when Dorit was saying that, I was kind of really confused. And Garcelle being her authentic self, she's not a reader. Okay. None of these ladies are from Atlanta. They're not going to read you down like Portia, Kenya, and Lenithia and them. Okay. And Phaedra and Claudia and them. She's just not that girl. So, I didn't really expect her to cuss Lisa out. I did not expect her to go after Dorit in the way that I would have wanted her to. Okay. Because us Atlanta fans, I mean, a white woman speaking down on a black woman like that, like, no, girl, we're going to drag you up and down the street with our words, okay? Because we don't fist fight. But I was just like, wow, I could not believe Dorito. I could not believe Dorito. I was like, Dorito, please sit your ass down, okay? Tonight was definitely an attack on Miss Garcelle Bouvet, and I did not appreciate it. Let's see what they're talking about. And Garcelle is really good on Watch What Happens Live. I haven't analyzed the whole entire look, but she looks really good. So we're just going to go ahead. I'm not going to be long-winded. Hopefully I can, keep it short, keep it simple. But, okay. So Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the reunion part 1 started off with Andy greeting everybody. It was really interesting because when Andy got to Erika Jayne, who we all know is being implicated in this whole saga when it comes to her husband embezzling money, stealing from his clients, burn victims, plane crash victims, orphans, widows, etc., etc. Meanwhile, while they are being victimized by this man, it is alleged that Erika Jayne received $20 million into her LLC. Well, with that being said, when Andy got to Erika, right? Erika didn't even say hello. Okay, she didn't even say hello to Andy. She basically just looked at him like, hey, I'm here. I've showed up. I'm fulfilling my contract. And I was like, ooh, wrong road, sis. Okay, wrong road. Because Erika already knows that this reunion is going to be about her. She already knows that she's going to be in the hot seat. She already knows that we're not too much feeling her. And so you can definitely tell that the girl had a little bit of an attitude. Okay, Erika had an attitude from the very beginning, and I was kind of shook at the situation. I'm like, girl, if you want to, try to change the perception about you, if you want to help try to change the public image that you have of being a criminal, then you need to change that stank ass attitude, girl. Okay, because not putting on, a lot of makeup, not having on as much makeup as you would normally have on is not doing it justice. You going to the gas pump looking real in shambles is not doing you any justice, babe. Okay, you going from a Rolls Royce to a Range Rover is not doing you a lot of justice. You going from a mega mansion to a mini mansion is not doing you no justice. Erika, change that attitude. Okay, how Sheree said, fix that face. You need to fix that face. As soon as you fix that face, then maybe the public image will try to will change, and maybe we'll be in your court. But right now it's just not happening. Okay, I just can't stand the stank ass superior attitude, in the words of Candy Bears Tucker. um but anyways, yeah, she didn't even say nothing to Andy, and I was like, ooh, okay, sis. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and sip on that. And then we get into the space of her talking about the victims. Because we know at the end of the day, we can sit here and we can talk about this show, and we can analyze it up and down, because it is entertaining. And at the end of the day, this is a reality show, and we are being entertained by all of this mess. But there are real people on the other side of these stories, which are the victims. Honestly, I empathize with Erika, but I don't feel sorry for her. And who I really feel sorry for is the people that got conned out of money that is rightfully theirs. And the fact that you cannot admit or acknowledge that you were the recipient of $20 million is just mind-boggling to me. Now, one of the reasons why she's probably not admitting that is because, of course, it's legal. Okay, she's not going to implicate herself in any crimes. So I totally get and understand that. But honestly, at the end of the day, for me, I'm speaking for myself as a fan, I'm never going to view Erika the same way again. I'm never going to give her a pass. I'm never going to let her down from this. This is just me speaking as a fan, until she admits that while other people were being re-victimized, she was getting $20 million. Okay? How do y'all feel about that? Shout out to all 100 of you guys in the chat. I know this ain't gonna be like a real big hot topic on my channel, because we don't really discuss Beverly Hills like that. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the live nonetheless. Tremin said, I made it finally. Thank you for showing up to the live. Someone says, I hate to say it, but Garcelle did not defend herself well. She was not ready. I wouldn't say she wasn't ready, but we'll get to that in just a second. I definitely feel like she should have read the hell out of Dorito, okay, and open up Pandora's box like it was a bag of chips, the bag of chips that she is, okay. And no, she's not the spicy nacho Doritos. She is the Cool Ranch. Dorito is the Cool Ranch packet, okay. And Garcelle should have read her up and down. Just simply said, I got pissed off when Erika said alleged victims. And that was so disheartening to me too. And again, it's kind of like the same thing. I understand it. I believe she is now inserting the word alleged because she does not want to admit to any wrongdoings, right? So I totally kind of understand why she is saying that. But at the same time, just as a fan, okay, as a person who is criticizing and analyzing the show, she looks guilty. She looks not sympathetic. She looks like the evil stepsister. Okay, if Lisa Rinna is the wicked witch of the West Coast, then what you call it? What's her name? I'm forgetting the girl name. Erika Jayne. Oh my God, so forgettable. Then Erika Jayne is the evil stepsister from Cinderella. Okay. Because that's exactly what she looked like with that ugly ass pink dress on. I'm sorry, but I feel like Erika Jayne was the worst dress. I thought her makeup was just so pale and just so icky. I shouldn't be talking about her. I shouldn't be talking about her looks. I should not be talking about her looks, but I did not like her look. I thought her hair was messy, and I think it was messy on purpose. I think her makeup was pale on purpose. You could see that there was like no contouring, okay? Like there was no jawline. There was no jawline. It was giving very much Drew Sidora, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, where is the fashionista that we all know that is Erika Jayne? She has officially left the building because she's trying to change her public image, but guess what? It's not working. It's not working. Erika looked a hot ass mess. And to me, I think Sutton looked better. I think Crystal looked better. And I said this when we were talking about the outfits a couple of days ago or a couple of weeks ago. I said, you know, Crystal and Sutton, they've never been those women to really show up and really impress me when it comes to the looks, but they did a hell of a lot better than what Erika did. Okay. And Erika definitely was given an 80s prom. Okay. Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, 16 candles. It was given Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It was given Aha, Take on Me. It was given I Want to Dance with Somebody, Whitney Houston. Okay. Like, girl, the 80s are calling and they definitely want that that prom dress back, because what the hell was going on? And then the hair was in shambles. The hair, she needs to stop bleaching it that damn light, okay, before the shit fall off. Somebody said Erika let her face fillers go down on purpose, so she looks worn down. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that. She's definitely been trying to look a lot more disheveled so that the justice system doesn't get her ass. Somebody said, isn't Erika supposed to be giving off a sweet, innocent, abused, humble wife? Yeah. She looks, oh, I shouldn't say that. Like I said, she looks disheveled, but her attitude has not changed. Her stank ass attitude has not changed. So it is what it is. Y'all is really lighting up Dorito in the comments. If you guys are joining us, please like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure you have your post notifications on so you can be notified when we go live and or post a video. Okay, so moving on. Let's see, what else can we talk about? So let's see. Erika spilled a lot of tea, and she basically said that her lawyers did not want her to continue on with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I almost said Atlanta. And I could have told you that she was going to defy the lawyers and their suggestions and their recommendations because the girl needs a job. We recently found out a couple of days ago that Erika makes at least $600,000 on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which is her main source of income. And they talked about that on the show. She said, unfortunately, this, is more of a job for me. And so I kind of have to be here and fulfill my commitments. Okay, because the girl needs a check and she's probably regretting spending $40,000 a month on hair, makeup, and wardrobe. Okay, Louis, Prada, Gucci. Okay, trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to be a fake Britney Spears and a Madonna. It didn't really work out for you, sis. Anyways, so the lawyers told her not to do Housewives. She defied them because she needs a job. And Andy Cohen brought up the fact that, a lot of the fans on social media were calling for her firing. They don't want her to be on the show. She rebutted and said that she does not think she should be fired because of her husband's, and here comes the alleged wrongdoings. Okay. And I agree. Do I think Erika Jayne should be fired? No. I mean, it's entertainment and it's reality TV. The cameras are supposed to show what's happening in this woman's life. And if this is the phase in her life, why would we stop now? I feel the same about Jen Shah and Teresa Giudice and Phaedra Parks and all of the other alleged criminals who have been on Housewives. Why would we stop the tapes now? Okay, how Black China said, cut the cameras. No, keep the cameras rolling. Okay, because we as the viewers want to see and we deserve it. Okay, we invest our time and our money and our energy into this shit. We want to see the real lives of these women because it's supposedly the Real Housewives. Okay, so I don't think that she should be fired, and so I do agree with her on that. I know some people will say, well, if you keep these criminals on television, it's rewarding them for bad behavior. But honestly, that's what reality TV is. You bring the drama, you bring the bad behavior, you get rewarded. You are a criminal, and then you become the highest rated show on cable network, TV and whatnot. So it is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be. Then we fast forward to Sutton. Sutton says that she's doing great. Her business is growing because we do know that on Watch What Happens Live, Lisa Rinna tried to shade her by basically saying that her store really isn't a real business. The same could be said about her little QVC clothing line, but that's a different conversation for a different day. And Sutton said her business is doing really good. It's been skyrocketing and whatnot. She's moved into her new home. She almost burnt down Kyle Richards' home and then tried to be clueless. And that's one thing that I don't like about Sutton is the fact that, girl, if you know you did something, like, why are you acting clueless? Like, oh, did I do that? Yes, girl, you did do that. Okay, you know you left that fireplace on overnight and you almost burnt down that girl's house. Okay. And you really should be paying for those repairs. We can't take your security deposit because there was no security deposit. But I do believe Kyle should take you to court so that you can pay what you damaged. Okay, Sutton. Anyways, and some really horrible news when it comes to Sutton Strack, her boyfriend. I don't even remember what the boyfriend's name was. Y'all remind me in the chat. I believe his name was Michael. Broke up with Sutton last Valentine's Day and basically cited, I just can't do this anymore. And I kind of related to Sutton in a way because I've been in many situations where boys have told me I can't do this no more. And guess what, girl? You let them leave and you continue to live your best life, okay? So it is what it is. Moving right along. Erika revealed, okay, speaking of boyfriends, that she is dating or wants to date. I don't think she said explicitly, I'm dating, but she says that she's trying to, she wants to. And so if you are an eligible bachelor, hopefully with some coins, you can be older, but just have all of your faculties. Yeah. Because we don't want to be in the same situation. And so Erika Jayne is dating, which I think is fine. It's whatever. I wouldn't have admitted that. I would have lied and probably said, you know what, I'm focused on beating this legal battle. And even though she hasn't been charged with anything, I'm focused on, my friends and my family and getting my life together. Okay. I'm focused on paying off my debts and getting a job other than the housewives. And but I don't fault her for trying to date because I mean she hasn't been with that man in so long. She hasn't been with Tom Girardi in months, okay, since last November. It's been almost a year since they filed for divorce, and so I wouldn't blame her. And then the poor girl was getting cheated on for years at this point. Okay, I don't know how you let that old ass, crippled ass man cheat on your ass, but okay, sis. Okay, you should have gotten you a little side piece by now. I mean, that's what I would have done. I'm not going to sit at home and not get no pain just because. For what? If you're out there having sex with the judge, okay, with the paralegals and the assistants and the other partnering lawyers at the firm and whatnot, allegedly, I don't really know. I'm just talking shit. But if you doing all that, sis, then listen, I can do the same. I'm dropping stuff. I can do the same, hun. Okay, I'm gonna go outside the household, outside the covenant, outside the marriage, and get me some peen because I'm not gonna be sitting at home just collecting dust. Okay, I don't want cobwebs on my stuff. Okay, on my private areas, right? Not to count her mouths like they did Denise Richards, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, girl, get you some. Okay, I don't blame the girl. And she's probably stressed. She needs sex more than ever. The girl is probably stressed. She's fed up. She doesn't want to be questioned no more. She doesn't want to be interrogated no more. And so I don't blame her for trying to find a boyfriend with a big dick. Okay. So what y'all feel about that? Mighty Mo says, I don't know why Garcelle keeps trying for a relationship, but we'll talk about that in just a second. Somebody said, I would love for you to do a few Housewives reviews with Andrew Gabor. Well, tell him to hit me up. Let's see. I want to see what y'all saying. What y'all saying about Erika Jayne? I see a lot of stuff about Garcelle, which we will get to in a few seconds. But can I say Andy Cohen did a really good job? Okay, he definitely understood the assignment when it came to the line of questioning because the questions was like that, and he did such a good job. I was like, Andy has come a long way from his biased ways with Monique Samuels, okay? Somebody said there's nothing wrong with wanting a rich man. Not at all. I want a rich man. Okay. Now, the only thing about rich men that my mom told me just a couple of days ago is that older rich men are very controlling and they're mean, which 9 times out of 10, that is the case. Okay. When you have a significant power imbalance, especially when it comes to money, usually the person that makes more money holds the pants in the relationships. Therefore, they just tend to, um, inevitably, I think that's what I'm trying to say. They inevitably just are controlling because finances controls a lot of the relationship. Like that's just the name of the game. Okay. It is what it is. So if I make the most money, I call more shots, which I think is, I don't know. I don't think that's right all the time, but I don't necessarily think it's wrong all the time either. What y'all think? But there's absolutely nothing wrong with a rich man. Rob J in the city says, I mean, if my life was in shambles, a relationship would be the last thing I'm looking for. That's just me. Yeah, true. But I think it's kind of different when my life being in shambles, okay, is different from Erika Jayne's life being in shambles because even though she's been knocked down a couple of pegs, she still has a lot more than a lot of us. You get what I'm saying? And so if I lost everything, I would literally be out on the street. Okay. Erika Jayne was never going to be out on the street. She tries to go with this narrative like, oh, I didn't leave him because where was I going to go? Take your ass to downtown LA and rent an apartment. Like, girl, what is you talking about? Okay. So it's kind of different. It's different when you're dealing with privileged people. Okay. And you're privileged in more ways than one. Your struggle is going to be different than my struggle. And so I say that to say, I feel like at this point in time, I could understand if she would want a relationship or a boyfriend. I get it. I understand where Erika's coming from. Somebody said, Corey said she had a side piece. Well, I can't wait to find that out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Okay. Someone said, I'm sure Erika got her. She said 90 days was her expiration date. Okay. Well, I hope she did. I really hope she did. Somebody said, Corey said, I had an older rich man and held the pants. Oh, okay. A lot of them want to be a bitch. I walked mine on a leash. Whoa. Girl, you need to teach me a couple lessons, honey. You need to teach me a couple of lessons. Someone said, always have your own money, Aaron. Girl, I know. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't want a rich man because I think a lot of people get this misconstrued. I don't want a rich man so that he can take care of me. I want a rich man because I just find that to be sexy. I find it to be sexy that you can do more than me. I don't know what it is psychologically, but I don't want someone to take care of me. I just like the idea that if I wanted you to take care of me, you could. If I wanted you to do this, that, and the third for me, you could. But I'm always going to be independent. I'm always going to have my own money. I'm always going to have my own hustle. I like doing well for myself. And I like splurging on guys too. Okay. I like, gifts and stuff like that. I like paying for dinners and lunches and dates. I find it really I think a lot of guys, the guys that I talk to, whenever I, boss up on them, okay, and pay for something, a lot of the times they feel really startled by that. Like it's like real unexpected. And I like that. I like the fact that you didn't think that I was gonna pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for both of our meals, and yet I just put the card down like it was nothing. There's something sexy about that. But knowing that I don't have to do that because my man can pay for any and everything if he wanted to is nice as well. Do y'all get what I'm saying? It is what it is. Anyways, okay, so um if you guys are just now joining, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the video. So then we go into this space. We're talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion part 1. We go into this space of Dorit and Lisa Rinna versus Garcelle. Okay. And this is why now y'all can fire off in the chat. Okay. Now y'all can fire off in the chat because I want to know how y'all felt about Michael Jackson and Dorito tag teaming to try to take the first and only Black housewife of Beverly Hills down. How did y'all feel about the situation? Now, I really don't want to go into detail because it's really straightforward. I feel as though, Dorit is basically saying you take these passive aggressive shots instead of telling me what you really feel. I'm sure if Garcelle has something to say, then she will say it. And if she doesn't have something to say, then she won't say it. And so that's that. I feel like Dorito is trying to make up an issue. Right? Dorito's trying to make up an issue so that she could get more camera time. But girl, it's not working out for you, sis. Okay. With that being said, I also feel as though she was dead ass wrong, Dorito, when she tried to insinuate that Garcelle was making these jabs in order to be relevant. She called it passively provocative or something, some shit she made up. Okay, some term she tried to look up real quick before the reunion so that she could have some sort of basis to her claims, some sort of foundation to her whack ass storyline this season. And it wasn't really it wasn't working out for me. Okay. It didn't pass the test for me. But she basically tried to say, you're throwing jabs to stay relevant, to be provocative on the show. And Garcelle told that woman straight up to her face, girl, I don't have to do nothing to stay relevant. Okay. Because at the end of the day, we all knew, okay, maybe not all of us, but a lot of us colored folk knew who a Garcelle and a Bouvet was before we even knew who a Dorito was. We didn't know Dorito. I had never heard of Dorito. And Dorito, to me, is very inauthentic in herself because one day you have an American accent and then the next day you don't. You were born in Michigan, Minnesota, Kansas, Arkansas, Alaska. So the fact that you have this international accent really boggles my mind. Okay, maybe I'm just ignorant to the situation. But how dare you call somebody else inauthentic when you have a fake accent? Okay, you're all up into everybody else's business, but yet we don't know what's happening with your marriage, Dorit. Okay, remember last year I foreshadowed this whole thing with Erika, and I'm just speaking in a stream of consciousness right now. Whatever is coming in my head, that's what's coming out my mouth. Last year, before this stuff even went down, before Erika thought she could fool us by announcing her divorce filing on the election day when we was trying to get rid of the Cheeto in charge. Okay, speaking of Dorito and the Cheeto. I had already foreshadowed. I'm like, wow, why is Erika Jayne so invested in Denise Richards and counting the miles on her vagina with whoever she wants to sleep with? Why is she so invested? She's so invested because there's something going on in her relationship. And so while Dorit is trying to shy away from her husband's legal troubles and her marriage troubles, right? She wants to deflect and be fake, okay? Be friends with what's her name? Erika Jayne in her face, and then act like a what in the confessionals and talk all types of shit because we know her and Kyle were doing that all season. Okay, they were really using Sutton and Garcelle to be their mouthpieces to say what they really wanted to say, right? Because they were trying to find a way to, I guess, question Erika, but still be her best friend because they was afraid of the girl, right? Um, but it's a whole bunch of deflection. Okay, Dorito. Dorito doesn't have a storyline, right? So she has to be extremely performative and make up these issues with the first and only Black housewife instead of talking about her own husband's issues. And if I was Erika Jayne, I would have brought that up. I would have been like, Dorit, sweetie, please don't question me on nothing when you have a million lawsuits against your husbands being filed every damn day, sweetie, and you don't talk about that. Okay, you don't talk about that. When are you going to talk about your own family and your own issues, sweetie? When are you going to stop deflecting on the only and first Black housewife on the show? When are you going to stop thinking that these wedding gowns is really tickling our fancy? We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. So, I don't know. Dorit is just pulling stuff out of her ass. She's pulling stuff out of her ass. And it's really offensive to me. And I'm trying not to make it about race, but guess the fuck what? It is. Okay. In 2021, in this climate, in this country, everything is about race. Yes, we pull in the race card. I don't care. Okay. This is my opinion, and I'm gonna stick by it. The fact that not Garcelle, but Dorito fixed those fake ass lips to scream at the first and only Black housewife of Beverly Hills, I was quite offended, especially when Garcelle did not match that energy at all. And Garcelle was being a class act. She was very classy. She handled Lisa Rinna and Dorit in a very classy way. I really wish he would have dragged the hell out of Dorito and Michael Jackson. Okay? I really wish he would have dragged the hell out of them because they deserved it. They deserved it. You are using this Black woman as a scapegoat. Okay? Instead of coming for your bestie, Kyle Richards, for being a fake ass friend, instead of talking about your own husband and his issues, you want to come for the Black girl. Okay. Cool. That's cute and whatnot. I really wish Garcelle would have cussed her the hell out. Because they deserved it. Dorito deserved it. I wasn't here for it. So somebody said Lisa's lumpy face needs to stop talking. Oh my goodness. I agree. Somebody said Dorit is giving friend of the show and trying to do too much. Exactly. And I think she is the next one to go. Okay. Can we usher in Kathy Hilton? Okay. And fire Dorito with the quickness. Even though we know Kathy Hilton is not going to be a housewife, but it's the projection and the deflection for me, honey. Okay. Somebody said Garcelle needs to cancel that friendship with Lisa. Rhobh J in the city. I completely agree. That is not your friend. And then, Lisa and Garcelle were going back and forth about the state of their friendship. The moral of the story is Garcelle does not trust Lisa, which is the reason why they cannot move forward. And I believe that if this was real life and they weren't on this reality TV show with the same circumstances, Garcelle would have just stopped being a girlfriend. She would not hang out with a girl. Right? But I think because they're on the show together and they have to work together, they're being forced to work it out. But fundamentally, Garcelle don't trust Lisa, and I wouldn't trust her either. I wouldn't trust Michael Jackson either. I wouldn't trust her because she's not a friend to nobody. She's really rude. She's very condescending. She's very just ill. And she's the real passive provocateur or whatever the hell Dorit was talking about. I think Michael Jackson, I shouldn't call that lady Michael Jackson. But I think Lisa Rinna, I think does the most so that she can get camera time. And she realized, I think she was trying to play this dance of, I want to repair my image for the way I acted towards Denise Richards, but I also want to be spicy enough to get some camera time. And that's exactly what I was getting from Lisa Rinna. And it was screaming desperado. Okay, the girl is desperate. The girl is really desperate. And it shows. And it really shows with every piece of synthetic hair in her head. Desperado. That's gonna be her new name. Okay, she then went from Lisa Rinna to Lips to Michael Jackson to Desperado. Someone said, Jai said, I agree. Garcelle is very annoying and is passive aggressive. Okay, you're entitled to that opinion. I don't really agree. Because the true tea is that Kathy Hilton made jokes and jabs about Dorito being long-winded, but yet Dorit decided to have an issue not with Kathy Hilton, but with the Black Housewife. Now where they do that at? Where do they do that at? Desperado. Y'all, I'm looking at my camera, I'm like, oh my God, I look like a bobblehead. I cannot wait for this lens to come back in so we can get back to our regularly scheduled programming. But yeah, Kathy Hilton made jokes and jabs about you to Dorit, but you didn't get on her. Is it because she's white? Is it because she's rich? Is it because Paris Hilton came out of her cooch? Is it because she's related to the Hilton dynasty? What is it? What is it about Kathy's privilege that made you not want to come for her, but come for Garcelle, the first and only Black housewife on the show? Can we please get into it? Can somebody please answer that question? Someone says Lisa has never walked in her own truth. Which is why everything she says or does is at extremes. Alex said, looking sexy tonight, Aaron. Thank you so much, Alex. You have Logan in the chat talking about some Dorit admires and respects Kathy, so she would never. Exactly. She views Garcelle as being down here and not up here. Therefore, she's going to come for Garcelle and not Kathy Hilton. Okay? Now, read between the lines if we really want to talk about race. And then we had Garcelle later on in the show talk about, she had heard some things, okay, that, Lisa Rinna may have said that Garcelle is coming onto the show and is bringing conversations up about race. And we don't want to talk about that. We just want to be entertaining. We don't want to be like Real Housewives of New York City and talk about race and talk about social justice issues and have a Black Shabbat dinner and do all of that. We don't want to talk about police brutality and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. We don't want to protest. We don't want to talk about the injustices in our justice system. We don't want to talk about the Cheeto chief in charge. We don't want to talk about any of that. We just want to be entertaining, drink our wine, show up for our luncheons and our dinners and our business lunches, and make good content for Bravo. Right? And you know what? I think Sutton probably had that mindset, which is really interesting because she's the closest to Garcelle. Remember when she got so defensive about the conversation about race? Remember that? Remember when Sutton got so defensive because she was like, oh my God, are we really talking about this? She got so scared. Something on my tongue. She got so scared that people were going to paint her as a racist. I am so sure that Sutton was not the only person to have those feelings. I'm so sure Sutton was not the only person who had those feelings of, I don't want the show to be about race. I don't want to have these conversations because I don't want to be. And you could tell, Lisa Rinna was so offended that Garcelle would even bring up the fact that she had heard those things. And I would have brought those things up too, especially if you're sitting on the other couch talking about I can say whatever I want to say and I can do whatever I want to do, Garcelle. And then you have Dorito chiming in talking about let me speak, Garcelle. If that was Potomac, somebody would have got their wig snatched. Okay? And it looked like Dorit had her real edges out. Somebody would have got their edges snatched if that was Potomac or Atlanta. Okay? Alex said, Aaron, when you going to invite me over for a nightcap? You are too much. You are too much. Um, if Sutton was acting like that, who was super close to the first and only black housewife, then I know some of the other ladies definitely had feelings. Kind of something sort of similar to Ramona, who was like, girl, this is Bravo. This is not CNN. This is not MSNBC. We don't want to talk about social justice issues. We just want to get drunk and have fun. I do believe that some of the ladies did have those thoughts. Because talking about race is not fun, especially for those who just don't understand. I mean, it's not fun for us black folk, anyways, regardless. I mean, we have to live the shit. But I don't know. Lisa is definitely annoying. Definitely annoying. Okay. Alex, I'm getting sick of you. Okay. Okay, so what else happened? So what do y'all want to talk about before we get on out of here? Because that was pretty much it. We talked about Dorit and Garcelle. We talked about Lisa Rinna and Garcelle. We talked about Erika and Sutton. Nothing was really going on with Kyle Richards. Nothing was really going on with Crystal. That was pretty much the whole show. I know that was probably all over the place, okay? Because yeah, I was just kind of talking. Josh said, Aaron, you are a cutie pie, not a bobblehead. I feel like a bobblehead. And Garcelle need to develop a backbone. Ooh, letting them white women come at her like that. But I have to remember she is from Haiti and not Chicago. I don't agree that Garcelle does not have a backbone. I don't think Garcelle is going to read the girls in the way that we are used to, like how they do on Potomac in Atlanta. She's not going to do that. She ain't cut from that cloth. Okay. None of those women are. So, I mean, I feel like if anybody needs to grow a backbone, it's Dorit and Kyle. They need to tell the truth to their best friend face, but you know. Louis said, Aaron, you are so funny and entertaining. You should inquire about filling in for Wendy Williams next week. Well, Dad Martin Mercury need to hit my ass up. I would love to do that. Vera said, hey, Aaron. Hey, boo-boo. Let's see. Someone says, isn't that the same hill that Ramona and Luann died on? We just want to have fun. Exactly. And girls, you know, I hate to break it to you, but that is so privileged to be like, we don't want to talk about that. We just want to get drunk and have fun. Okay, we can talk about the race. We can talk about how y'all are ostracizing the people of color on the show. We can talk about our experiences with being people of color in this country and the shit we deal with, you know, in this system of racism in this country. We can talk about that first, okay, and then we can get drunk, and then we can have fun, and then we can talk shit and gossip and do all the other extra shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay, Sutton. It's okay to talk about race. It's okay to be educated once in a while, because at the end of the day, don't nobody have to educate your ass in the first place. Okay? It's really not up to Garcelle and Crystal and Ebony K. Williams and the rest of the girls to consistently bring these topics up to educate these ignorant ass fools. It's not up to them, but they do it willingly because they want to open up, they want to be friends, they want to be a part of the group. And, you know, time and time again, we get this attitude like, oh my God, I don't want to talk about this. Oh my God, can we just have fun? Can we just get drunk? No. No. The white privilege is showing. Okay? The white privilege is definitely showing, and y'all definitely need to take a couple of history lessons. Okay? Shout Shane said, did you see Kyle's face when Garcelle brought up the rumor about Rinna? Kyle had a face of guilt. So you think Kyle is the one that told Garcelle about Lisa Rinna with the whole race thing? I don't think Kyle would be that low down and dirty, do you? Joshua said white fragility at its finest. Absolutely. Okay. Ding dong. You hit the nail on the coffin. BB said, finally, I am on your live, though I'm late. I'm happy to hear you live, Aaron. Thank you so much for joining us. But yeah, so tonight's reunion was really, really, really cool. I did enjoy it. It was very dramatic, and so hopefully it gets even more dramatic. Okay. Andy Cohen did say on Watch What Happens Live tonight that the very first 20 minutes of next week's reunion is going to be all about Erika Jayne and her marriage to Tom Girardi, the fraud. Okay. So we are definitely going to be tuning in for that. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me on this live where we talked about the Beverly Hills reunion. I continue to talk about Beverly Hills. I know it does not get the views. I know a lot of my audience really isn't into Beverly Hills, but I continue to talk about it because I want to diversify the channel a little bit. So hopefully, we can continue to talk and more of the Beverly Hills fans will join the channel. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the YouTube channel. On your way out, please like the video. Make sure you have your bell button on so you can be notified when we go live and or post a video. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and log off. I love you guys. And don't forget to create a great day. Bye.